Plate of Kalista behind, in front of just the Draven. And with Kalista being banned, not a surprise, immediately, as if on cue.
Yep.
It does. Draven and Kalista, in fact, banned. What's he going to do?
Well, look, Crystal, he has played the Sivir. He's picked that one up as well. There are a whole lot of AD carries that he can grab there. But, of course, no Draven, no Kalista. LGD just saying, nah, we ain't dealing with it. Just flat out no more. And first ban away as well. Beast is going to lose his Rek'Sai. That is a big power pick for Snake. And with these sort of focused bans, we might see things get through, of which, you know, could be the Gragas, could be the Sejuani that Beast has been enjoying, as well as potentially the Azir, the Cassiopeia for the mid lane. You, a brilliant player of both of those champions. Varus going to hit the bench. Godvi not going to see that one. Nor is Imp. Of course, Imp playing almost every single AD carry. So more than happy to grab that. Cassiopeia going to hit the bench. And now, Snake, are they going to ban Azir? Because banning Cassiopeia makes you feel like maybe Azir could be there in the works.
That is the question. They tend to come hand in hand, the Cassiopeia and the Azir bans, but they're opting for another AD carry ban. All three of Snake's bans, with the exception of maybe Godvi, being a Varus player, of course, but that is all three AD carry bans and a Draven. So what is left? Sivir is still left.
Sivir and Jinx look to be the options here, and they may have just been picked anyway. So, of course, Snake almost throwing away a ban with the Vayne, but it is going to be Gragas locked in first. TBQ on a playmaking jungler across all stages of the game, gets very, very tanky in the late game. Lots of sustain there as well, able to get around the jungle very easily. But Flandre, he can grab anything in the top lane. Absolutely anything.
Whatever he likes. Gnar is an availability, and of course the Sivir, as we have mentioned, being the strongest AD carry choice. Jinx is good into it, but the Vayne ban, I guess, was much more targeted against Imp. He has played it earlier in this split.
Yeah, he played it in his most recent game, actually, to great effect. He was dominating people on that champion, really looking fantastic. But Vayne runs into her own set of problems, of course. Low range, low wave clear.
Yeah.
There are a few ways that you can exploit a Vayne, but of course, 1v1, still one of the strongest AD carries out there.
Because banning's still an exploit of the Vayne to just take it away completely. They have locked in the Alistar and the Sivir, and that is one of the strongest bot lanes on paper that I could ever possibly imagine.
Yeah, but it looks like we are going to have the Hecarim over the side of LGD. So far, Hecarim today, 100% pick rate, 100% win rate. So not too bad. POL thinking about his Janna, and we think about POL as the playmaker for the team. We saw him play Janna in the second game yesterday against WE, and still was making the plays on the Janna. Flash into the Howling Gale, getting stuff done for the team. So still, despite the fact that he's more of a disengage, still going to be able to get the work done.
When you're the shot caller for the team, it becomes a lot easier to make plays. And being, regardless of who you are, I guess there's always the Flash Monsoon possibility as Janna. Random acts of aggression that people don't really expect seems to be what PYL will be doing in this game. That's better.
Yeah, okay. So just playing with it just a little bit here as Godvi had locked in the Hecarim, so the Fizz is an option here for Flandre. Of course, Flandre able to play anyone there in the top lane, and Fizz seems like a perfect fit for Flandre's playstyle. You think Fizz and you think Zatai, Amazing J, and Flandre really able to adapt to that very quickly. But we saw, of course, Long doing a fantastic job on the champion as well. Fizz just a brilliant top laner at the moment with that Cinderhulk. Imp now considering AR Twitch, but we'll have to wait and see as that one heads down. But Beast now on more of a late scaling jungler, and do you think it's dangerous picking the Sejuani here?
I don't think it's dangerous. I think he's got the team backing to get through quite easily, as we'll wait to see what they do want to do as their last two picks here. But Sejuani is going to be difficult against the Gragas in terms of matching the early pressure that you can put down. Of course, that's going to be a small concern. But if you can get through to level 6, Sejuani still has that big go button. You've got that with the Sivir, the Fizz, and the Alistar. So far, very good, and they have locked in that Twitch.
Twitch has been locked in, as well as Godvi's Orianna, so already the LGD lineup looking frightening, to say the least. Imp, of course, known for his Twitch, as Ella's going to switch over to an Azir now, so a lot of late-game teamfight potential. They can really hit the go button with the Donkey Whistle in that On the Hunt from Sivir. And we'll see whether Flandre can be enough of a nuisance with his teleport flanks potentially coming in there as well. But man, PYL locking in the Orianna for Godvi. This is looking terrifying for Snake, because LGD, they got a lot of power picks for this team, and actually last second switching back over to the LeBlanc.
So they needed some more assassin threat, supposedly, with the rest of their team. It's less of a well-rounded hard engaged comp, but they're still completely capable of doing that with just the 4 members that they have. They don't need a 5th member to almost just pigeonhole them into only wanting to be hard engaged. LeBlanc provides this difference. She's got a unique siege capability as well behind her. She provides a lot for the team. Assassination will be big onto Imp as well. And one of the coolest things that I'm looking forward to seeing is the throwback to last year in the LCK where they had the Twitch go invisible in the mid lane and have the
submarine,
Ori ball.
the old submarine Twitch ball delivery system, and you can't even see it. Almost like an Evelyn, but a little bit more reliable because you can get right up close and personal. We'll see whether that's a thing that's going to be happening here. And as Imp moves towards the mid-game, he is going to be able to head towards that mid lane, maybe get some of that spray and pray action down. Of course, rat-a-tat-tat now, but I probably will still be saying spray and pray because I just love the name of that ability.
It's basically as a spray and pray anyway. Regardless of the name, it's still an active description of what it is. But I mean, they've got the Twitch Janna in the bot lane, and I don't know how that would go in a 2v2 up against the Sivir and an Alistar. It sounds pretty bad to me. They might want to consider the lane swap is then the question that I would pose to them.
Well, they'd probably want to consider a lane swap anyway. Hecarim into Fizz going to be relatively difficult. We'll see whether we are going to have a whole lot of deep warding trying to get make sure that Snake can get the 2v2 matchup because that's going to work out for them across the board. A lane swap's going to be fantastic for LGD, but if Snake can counter that, the early game could be a whole lot better. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get on to the Rift. And here we are onto the Rift for LGD versus Snake, our second matchup of the night. First game underway now, 38 minutes in, 38 seconds in. I apologize.
We're not 38
minutes in, then we would have missed a whole bunch.
Level 1 and 38 minutes in. Imp feeling a bit of pain, kind of sussing out what's going on here. He might be looking to just put that ward down. Didn't opt to save it for the 1 minute mark to see where anything was happening later on, but he puts the ward down. Close enough, yeah. And I think the important part is that they have vision of where the bot lane of Snake are, and he can opt into that lane swap, at least with some kind of knowledge that they're nearby that area.
Yeah, and Govdi actually, he's going to pick up the Doran's ring. Flandre actually opting for the red Fizz. We've seen a lot of yellow Fizz. It's the red Fizz this time. Yeah, mix it up. I like it. I like it. Don't see too many chroma skins, so I'm excited about this one. Crystal, not wearing too many clothes, as Wonder Woman Sivir.
That's the first thing you notice on Sivir, is it?
Well, no, it's just true.
Yeah. I like the boomerang. It's much better than any other skin, really.
The little
Looks
star.
cool.
Nah, it's not true. Pack Sivir is easily the best skin in the game.
To each their own.
It's most definitely true. I believe a subjective choice there, Rusty, as Ella and Crystal probably going to take away the little sentinels around this blue buff, like to pick up a little bit of extra experience there, but they are going to get the lane swap in LGD, so Snake not deciding to do anything about that one as the cow just going to tank this one up, and it looks like we're not even going to be able to get a freeze for Snake in the bottom side of the map. Might just opt for just pushing this one out as quickly as possible. One thing for Snake that this is going to be very good for is making sure that Beast stays unharassed in his jungle.
Yeah, the 2v1 situation that has been forced by LGD does make, at the very least, this early jungling phase a lot easier for a Sejuani. If you have a Fizz following you around as well, it does make you get experience a bit slower. That does need to be taken into consideration, but he will get enough gold to, at the very least, get his next jungle item upgrade, and then that is the stage where Sejuani starts the jungle a lot easier than he would be normally.
Yeah, so now over at the Wolves, they are going to finish off the blue buff as well. So 2 buffs for both of the junglers, and Snake pushing in this bottom side. They've stacked up a bit of a wave here, so might be able to get some damage onto a turret, and we'll see whether any ungainly teleports are going to be opted into here for a Hecarim into the bottom side of the map. It might be dangerous.
It would 100% be dangerous because it's just the assumption that there is going to be 4 people there. 99% of the time, that's because there is 4 people there.
Yeah.
But at the moment, because both top laners are really content with jungling with their jungler, they've both got smites. They probably won't look to teleport anywhere anytime soon. They'll most likely just look to continue to jungle. In fact, they'd be very content. You can tell by the fact that they're just freezing the wave and letting all the minions die instead of actually hard pushing. They may want to catch a rotation, but they're not going to find anyone besides Janna.
Yeah, TBQ looking for you. Actually knocking him out of the distortion there. Godby with a command protect, but there's the chain onto him.
Wow.
Snake, oh my goodness. First blood here for Godby. Who would have expected that? Of course, it's fantastic Orianna. Makes a lot of sense. And able to clear out this minion wave as well. It's so dangerous letting him have that champion.
Well, your first thought is, why is the Orianna running Ignite, firstly? That's what I thought when I saw that come down. And then, yeah, besides it being Godby, generally speaking, you opt into a defensive summoner to get through the laning phase and the pressure that a LeBlanc can put down. But you can see the use of it right there. TBQ with an amazing body slam, cancelling the distort, as you said, and putting him in a horrible position. Yu goes down, and now it's a big lead for Godby in laning.
Yeah, 27 to 20 now as well. So Godby able to pick up the double Doran's ring and will set himself up to being able to take control of this lane. Crystal able to freeze this one out pretty far away from Acorn, so he's not going to be able to pick up too much of this farm as Ella's sitting there with the headbutt pulverized threatening. Level 3 has, of course, been gained. And Godby now just holding off, and you just saying, oh man, this is going to be tough.
Yeah, and I guess the decision that has been made here from LGD is they've put their Janna with Hecarim, and they're looking to get that 2v2 matchup. So they're trying to put Imp by himself for a bit more of a prolonged period of time where he can solo farm. He's going to be up against a Fizz though, and that's not necessarily an easy position to be in if you're a Twitch.
Yeah. Fizz more than happy. Like, in fact, that's his job. He wants to kill squishies. That's always been the Fizz sort of motto. Splandre is going to make it underneath this turret. Seastone Trident able to get him to last hit under this relatively easily, as actually Urchin Strike getting him a little bit closer to danger than he'd otherwise like. Godby gets hit by the chain.
Oh, wow.
Oh, gets answered by that massive dissonance. Godby maxing the command attack, but you saw that W still doing some work.
Yeah, just having an extra Doran's Ring and the Amplifying Tome starting to have an impact on what is a very low health, squishy mid laner of LeBlanc this early in the game, especially when you've opted towards the Flask start. You lose a lot of extra health from a Doran's Ring, so having to go for that ring after dying, and then just going to take that turret too. Has put Snake in a good position for the bot lane. Sivir doing as intended, pushing lanes down. But the Twitch is solo farmed for quite a while and has that Cutlass, and this is a much better position for a Twitch to be in for a 2v2 situation.
Yeah, and you clearing out this minion wave. And TBQ just going to take his Raptors. So Sejuani heading towards his side of the map, but POL's just roaming around. You got Twitch now on the bottom side, and it seems like Snake may have given up some potential dragon control as you doesn't quite get the chain onto Godby. Now that he has the ultimate, trying to play with a little bit more impunity, but not able to really get much done as the double Doran's Ring, a little bit too much health to get through.
Yeah, it's very hard to burst him out too quickly right now, especially in this 1v1 matchup. You'd need the jungle pressure to really have an impact, and I mean, at the moment, everything's quite standard. Imp is starting to feel a little bit adventurous because he does have that Cutlass, and it puts him in a very good position for at least catching people. He can even, if he starts losing lane too hard, just disappear and go mid.
Yeah, Crystal actually not able to grab the Howling Gale.
That was so well played by Imp though.
Oh yeah. You can see actually the Sivir fairly low on health. Should theoretically have a decent time in this lane now that the BF sword's picked up in comparison to that Bilgewater Cutlass, at least in the short trades.
Oh, wow.
But Godby, he's going to get soloed out in the mid lane. You able to utilize the power of the LeBlanc and maybe just a little bit of over-aggression there from Godby in the mid.
Well, just the raw burst that a LeBlanc can put down. And again, having the Ignite onto that Orianna is a big factor into why a 1v1 seems to go so well for the LeBlanc. She still had the Ignite available and no defensive summoners for the Orianna. Puts her in a bad position or puts her vulnerable to being soloed 1v1 by a LeBlanc, and that's exactly what we saw just there. Yeah,
not actually sure whether the Shockwave was even used in that exchange. You can see actually, you can't see, but we can see the fact that it is in fact off cooldown. So didn't use the Shockwave and wasn't able to capitalize on the aggression from the LeBlanc, and of course very slippery anyway, so could have potentially just gone back to a distortion nonetheless.
I think based off the health of the LeBlanc, once the camera panned to her, the ult would not have killed. And I don't think the Ignite was available either, which was...
No, it was.
It was? Well then, yeah, I guess the kill chance was there, just wasn't used. And Maybe wanting to save it to get some revenge with the next item buy with a bit of power spike.
Yeah, potentially. We'll see what Godby does pick up, head back to lane with, and whether or not that was part of the pause. Godby just pausing the game to say, I should be winning. What is going on?
Understandable. That would explain a few reasons as to why that 1v1 seemed to go quite in favor of the LeBlanc, having Ignite and ult available. Yeah.
Not sure. Not sure exactly what happened. Of course, we'll find out possibly afterwards, see exactly what happened there. But, of course, may have been completely irrelevant to that 1v1 in the mid lane. And he is a fantastic LeBlanc player. It's been banned away from him multiple times. Did get through, picked it up as the last pick into the sort of comfort pick of Godby there in the mid lane. Of course, Godby going to have a whole lot more AoE potential in the late game. Sort of that shockwave being brilliant. CC, of course, being able to augment his AD carry in the Twitch with the command protect, being able to possibly get these submarine plays off. There's a whole lot of utility available to Orianna, but if a LeBlanc gets snowballing, it's always going to be a problem.
Oh, yeah. The threat of actually killing someone instantly is always going to be relevant if the LeBlanc gets big. But the key differences between the mid laners as we hop back into this game is that LeBlanc doesn't need to have the team fight relevance because she has the team to back it already. Whereas the Orianna, who's got the Gragas Hecarim, they're not really guaranteed in engage or crowd control like a Sejuani can provide. The Orianna needs to have a big amount of relevance in the team fighting, whereas the LeBlanc doesn't, so it's a kind of completely different dynamic between them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Flandre, on the other hand, is going to be going for a Phage first, which I'm excited about. Of course, a fantastic item for Fizz. You're able to be a whole lot more squishy in the early game. As Crystal, wanted to be able to Spell Shield that Contaminate, but unable to. And Imp just going to continue machine gunning this minion wave that has been shoved in very, very far from Crystal on this Sivir. I like to see Crystal on the Sivir though. I like to see him picking up some new champions into his repertoire. He did have sort of an interesting champion pool, which was Draven Kalista for a little while there, but here's the 1v1.
So we're going to see this 1v1 pan out, and how you managed to actually get a kill. It's quite a slow start to a 1v1 to say the least.
Dodges the command attack. We're going to speed it up here, but there's the Mimic Distortion. The chains land, and it's just the auto attacks that bring him down. Didn't have the command protect in time.
Yeah, didn't have the ball on top of herself either, which I think was the big factor. Not getting that bonus resistance.
Yeah.
A big detrimental factor as to why LeBlanc did so much damage there. And not having the ball in the right spot, the ultimate and Ignite was still available, but would not have been enough, I think, because of Dangerous Game in particular.
That's a good point. Yu, though, is going to pick up the blue buff here, and Godby, with his blue buff still sitting down, going to have to answer the aggression here, as it was, in fact, the ultimate used from Yu, but I'm not going to do too much damage to Godby, who now has that Chalice, a little bit more magic resist to try and alleviate some pressure in that lane.
Yeah, definitely helping Orianna a lot is having that Chalice available. If you can get through the laning phase now, you're pretty much on equal footing, but you need to get through maybe a tiny bit ahead just because of the teamfight relevance that we spoke about earlier. The LeBlanc can't be doing more than you when it comes to a teamfight, but at the moment, it looks like Yu is controlling this lane.
He's certainly got his eye in on those chains as well. Missed the first couple in that lane, but at the moment, things are looking great. Only 2 CS behind from the farming machine that is Orianna. And Yu, with control of the lane, pushing this one out.
Was it just me, or has Beast and Ella been sitting in this bush for about a minute?
They have.
At least a minute.
Yep.
Like the camera has panned to them 3 times on different occasions.
Yep. Crystal still clearing this one out. Oh, PYL. There's the flash into the Pulverize. The ultimate down, and it pays off. They wait around and pick themselves up a kill.
Patience pays. What more can you say? They sat there for so long.
It gets to the point where is it even worth it comes to mind.
All of that time for a single kill on a Janna. You're still going to have the Twitch free farming, and granted, you did get a kill. It's going to help. I believe it went onto the Sivir.
Yeah.
Which will help even more. It does ramp up the AD carry, so I suppose it's worth, but that was a very long time.
You accidentally threw out a Mimic Chain instead of a Distortion, I believe.
Don't question him, mate.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not really one to generally... that's actually the Shockwave into the turret. You goes down to half health and just back.
So that was just an ultimate to harass and try and force a recall. You could see the rest of the side of LGD were sort of roaming around the middle area.
Oh, PYL actually might be taking a bit of damage there, but you just popping his head over the wall. going to head back as well. As now it's going to be Ella soaking up some experience, saying, haha, you're zoned away from the turret. There's the dissonance, sorry. Getting a bit more damage down to the LeBlanc, who's completely out of mana. Just wants to pick up the Morellonomicon. Ooh, Imp dodges out of the way of the Boomerang. And Crystal slowed down by that Venomous Cast. But no Contaminate to come through, and it's going to be A-OK, as is Crystal.
It's a very interesting 1v1 between them both, because it is almost entirely skill-based, where you need to time the spell shield to assume when Imp is going to use that expunge.
Yeah.
But you don't ever really know when. It makes it, you can see the spell shield's coming down at very inappropriate times since the start of this laning phase.
Oh, well, I actually thought that Venomous Cast was going to land, but just didn't.
I like the timing of it not landing, though. It played to my point perfectly.
Yeah.
Is that has happened multiple times, and I know it's not intentionally missing by any means, but it's also...
Oh, short-handed the ultimate did Flandre.
That was unlucky.
You may as well just throw it a little bit further.
Well, you know what? Fish aside, that is still 40 CS in favor of Flandre.
Oh my goodness. I mean, he may have had it better in the sort of 1v1 that he got in the top lane, but still, it's a big deal. That's only extended since this lane is headed towards the top. And I guess, you know, 37 as you, misses the chain, heads back to the distortion. You just do that each time.
Lots of mini trades with no real big fights. You could see even God be using his shockwave just to deal damage, not to get kills. And the roam party that is Ella and Beast at the moment have only really had luck in finding one kill onto PYL, and since then, they're kind of just following PYL around and looking to kill him again, I suppose.
Yeah. It's just the pig and cow hanging out.
Yeah, but not really actually getting anything from that is the main point. They wasted a minute in the bush to get a kill as Oriana.
Oh, no.
What are you doing, mate?
So annoying.
6 health.
Yep. Frustrating. Now, setting up for a bit of a gank brush here is you and Beast waiting around. Of course, just Beast wanting to have friends as many times as he can.
I mean, it's aptly named that they are like a farmyard style, and they've got a beast there as well.
Oh dear, there's the ultimate after the Arctic Assault, and man, Godby is super dead in the mid lane. Snake able to get that 3-man roam, and 51 seconds on the Dragon means that Godby is going to be alive for that and able to get in position, but Snake with the pick that they were looking for.
It feels like the bottom half of the map almost entirely. You can see by the wards on the mini-map at the moment.
Goodness, it's ridiculous.
Is Snake. It's all Snake. They've got control of that area, and their patience, though they're not really getting many kills, as we mentioned, they have secured 2 big kills now, which is helping more and more because it keeps going down onto the carry. So if this is the game that they want to play, and that is work around the vision control and grab picks when someone overextends, it's working for them. Like, exactly what they want to happen is happening at the moment.
Yeah, and we've got Sivir actually heading back, picks up the Berserker's Greaves. Dragon up in 10 seconds. They are going to be able to get there with a fully item-purchased Sivir. Blade of the Ruined King onto Imp, though, so he might be able to get some ambush plays on this map. We haven't seen Imp do anything too flashy just yet. Hasn't been involved in anything, but hasn't died. He's been able to keep up in farm, only down by about 12 in a lane that would have been difficult.
But doing what's required of him as a Twitch right now. So now he's got that blade, and it is comparable to the Infinity Edge for a Twitch because it's essential that a Twitch gets that item. So he's going to be in a good spot. Not going to really be able to 1v1 Crystal, though, I would imagine, having the Berserker Greaves finished with that Infinity Edge. Very difficult position to try and 1v1. But again, they do have control of the Dragon area, Snake. They've got the Trinity Force just completed for Fizz as well.
Classic Flandre things as he picks up Trinity Force first. So this is the first time we've seen this one. I like that he has the cheeky Skirmisher's Saber there, just so that his Smite does stuff in an offensive manner, and then says, hang it, I'm getting a Trinity Force.
I like the thematically accurate Chroma skin with the items as well.
Yeah.
He's going for red Fizz almost, except has the Trinity Force.
No, but think about it. When the sheen is active and he's got like red hands.
Glows, yeah.
Oh, so cool.
Red Fizz. Is that a thing now?
It is. Well, look, Flandre, he's done it.
One,
yeah, he's certainly doing it. Cinderhulk probably going to be his next option, then into Tanky. Might make sense, but so far, just having fun with his build, and I like it. The 1v1 Assassin Fizz potential is right there.
Yeah, exactly. The Trinity Force is that 1v1 potential.
Is he actually going aggressive? Chum the Waters was just used in the top lane. they're actually fighting right now, and Acorn is going down very low, but he's used his ultimate to get out. It's called play-by-play, while in fact we can't see what's going on, but you can see it's exactly what happened.
Well done.
Thank you.
And meanwhile, while this is all happening, the teleport being used to come back to the top lane is a signal that Dragon is free for Snake.
Yep, now going to be able to take that down. The second Dragon of the game for them, 17 minutes into the game. Ooh, mimicked Q. Sigil of Malice going to land onto Godby there. He's just going to clear out some vision. And Snake, with 4 members and a teleport available, are just going to be taking down this Dragon Barrel. All sorts of things. Oh, actually, Crystal gets knocked up with the spell shield there. Oh, TBQ tries to go for the steal. The explosive cast was there as well as you. Actually misses everything, but there's the 3-man ultimate. The Monsoon trying to disengage there as the 4-man shockwave into the knock-up as well, but you just going to punish TBQ. Flandre being a huge beast, but look at the spray and pray from Imp, turning up at exactly the right time. Godby locks down the kill, and Snake has to disperse. They pick up the Dragon, and they trade 1 for 1.
They do get the Dragon, and they do trade. At the same time, Hecarim's starting to get some farm back in his direction in the top lane. That's going to be really big for the Hecarim. And Imp, we see how much damage he's starting to do right now. That's disgusting.
Oh my goodness, you lands the chain onto the stealth up Imp. There's a headbutt out of the backwards, out of the go back of the boomerang. But Crystal's still going to be able to lock down the kill. And Imp, after a brilliant performance, just going to kill himself.
But he does give a lot of time for his team. Godby should be able to get this turret. It goes down, and meanwhile in the top lane, a second turret does go down. So now 2-1 in turrets in favor of LGD, and though it's 2-5 in kills and 2 dragons to none, they find themselves dead even with gold.
Yeah, and that clawed them all the way back, picking up those 2 back-to-back turrets, despite the fact that Imp died, still able to get even in the gold. So this game, very, very close. And we assumed that with both of these teams sort of playing very similarly, finding previous form on both sides. And LGD, despite having a bit of a worrisome time in the mid lane, of course, you able to get very far ahead. TBQ actually taking some chains, not getting locked down too far though.
I suppose the interesting thing that you need to talk about from here is that it's 2 towers to 1 in objectives. So it means there's still a lot of objectives left on the map. But the gold difference right now is actually on the players that are going to carry Snake through this game. So they've got a 2-0-1 Sivir with a CS advantage. They've got 3-1-1 on the LeBlanc, who now has that needlessly large rod, is ramping up in damage. And Crystal just seems confident enough right now to walk into the face of this Hecarim. It doesn't matter because he's so big. Has the Avarice Blade working towards a static shiv. And again, the carries of the side of Snake are getting all of the gold, and that is really big for them team fighting out of this.
Yeah, and also, Crystal knows that he's got 4 members towards the top side of the map. Acorn trying to rampage him out of the way of this turret, but in the end, he's going to clean up all of the farm, and they're not going to be able to get past the huge horse. And when you're a Sivir, don't quite have the range to reliably do that.
And at the moment, Yu has complete control of the mid lane. You can see the way Godby is playing, and the wards that he's now placing are so defensive that he can't actually leave his lane to put wards down, or it's too dangerous for him. He might die.
Yeah, and I actually really like the Trinity Force here from Flandre. It's another thing that I want to talk about. You look at LGD, you think, okay, Twitch, Orianna, Hecarim, they're going to be scaling into the late game. The late game team fight going to be very, very hard to deal with. Snake need to make things happen early on with the LeBlanc, with the Fizz. So picking up a Trinity Force means that you can split push against anyone. You need to bring multiple people if you're going to deal with this Fizz. And look, they haven't, and they lost their red buff for it.
Sure, they've lost their red buff. They're now going to have a very rough time here if you were Acorn in a 1v1 against Flandre, solely on the fact that he has gone for the Trinity Force first. So it is a smart decision in that respect. But when you think about Trinity Force, most people assume that it's a big team fighting buff, that you're going to be able to do a lot more with it, but it's not. It is almost solely designed to give you more split pushing capabilities. So if they team fight, Acorn might even be doing more than Flandre.
Yeah, it's a good point. So we'll see whether Snake can actually utilize the Fizz in a split pushing manner. They have managed to get him the teleport advantages before in the past, so able to lock down the second dragon there. But if Snake, say, lose the next couple of dragons, you have to think that it might get difficult for them to overcome what is LGD's dominating late game. And the team fight that they can bring with the spray and pray, with the fact that Godby always able to find fantastic shockwaves in these fights, and you saw the last one, 4-man shockwave, then 4-man knockup with the Howling Gale into the spray and pray. If Imp was there any faster, that would have been a quadra-kill almost instantly.
Definitely. If Imp was there as the shockwave connected, they would have probably all just straight away gone down. And you can see he's working towards that Ghost Blade at the moment. Once he gets that active from the Ghost Blade, only at the Brutalizer at the moment, the team fighting capabilities of LGD, it's going to be underrated with how good it's going to be. Their engage isn't comparable to Snake because they've got the Sejuani to just press the go button.
Yep.
But they've got the potential anyway with the Hecarim and the Gragas, even the Shockwave initiating, or even Imp flanking to initiate for them, can put them in a really good position. But this is why I really like the change to the LeBlanc pick as the last pick response.
Okay.
Because it absolutely wrecks any chance of a Twitch flanking. If you try to flank as a Twitch,
you get insta-kill.
You're going to get turned on. And
yep.
LeBlanc's got the mobility and the damage to make that happen. So a very smart adaptation to the champions that have been picked here from LGD. But we'll see how it actually unfolds, and if they want to continue split pushing with Fizz, or if they do want a team fight with what feels like a lead for them right now.
And the Cinderhawk now completed. POL actually going to get exploded by you. Lands the last chain. There it is. 2 chains for you. Able to lock down the support player in top lane. Out of turret going to fall. The split pushing Fizz on the go once more. 10 seconds now on the Dragon. Acorn and Flandre both with their teleports, both in the top lane, as they're going to have to wait for POL to come back up, and we'll see whether Snake, with the man advantage now, considering POL dead for another 10 seconds, whether they're going to be able to take down this Dragon. Still with a ward in the back of the pit, but Beast might be able to take that one. Oh.
That was close.
Very close.
Once they get this third Dragon, if they get this third Dragon, of course, as they do start it up, it puts them at 3, and that gives them a very real win condition for the 5th Dragon, and forces the side of LGD to fight for future Dragons in bad positions. And Acorn is having a very hard time.
Oh, he's dead. You just pops over the wall and destroys him. Godbeat now looking for something here. Oh, flashes on top with the... Oh, my goodness. That shockwave was fantastic. Almost netted himself a kill, but instead they're just going to lose another Dragon. TBQ unable to steal that away. Actually dies for it as well as Crystal heads over. Spray and pray was used, but Imp unable to really stay in range with that one. Didn't want to flash over the wall into 3 people, especially when one of them is an Alistair. And oh, Godby almost picked up that kill. If he had have managed to pick up a couple of extra ones in the early stages of the game, he might have been able to grab that. But man, super close.
It's one of the coolest things to see from an Orianna is that sombrero hat ultimate.
Oh, yeah.
Where you then flash on top of them because
that's
they can
the
never
literal
predict
hula
it.
hoop. That's like you're wearing the hula hoop
Yeah.
and smacking people with it.
And then you just flash and they can't react to it. It's like when the Gragas does a flash body slam. It's nearly impossible to react. You have to just assume it's happening. And you'll never assume in your life that an Orianna will flash with an ult on top of herself. So putting down a lot of damage but not getting the kill, still coming massively in favor of Snake. They get the Dragon. They pick up 2 kills in the end for that. It's now 8-2, and the lead is starting to stretch for them with 3 Dragons also.
Yeah, of course, 3 Dragons means that despite the gold lead, they are going to be in control of that area. We'll see whether they can continue to grab them, whether the 5th Dragon is potentially theirs. As soon as you land 4 Dragons, from then on, every Dragon needs to be contested from LGD. The 5th Dragon always going to be looming over their heads.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, while we've got the money difference up as you, wow.
Okay, that's a tanky Hecarim. Of course, he doesn't necessarily have any magic resist yet, so makes sense that Yu's going to be doing a fair bit of damage, but now cannot stand in a lane with a LeBlanc.
And that poses another question of why are you not going for magic resistance when you're against a Fizz in lane who does a lot of magic damage?
Irrespective of what you build, TBQ going to completely miss an ultimate in the top lane, as Snake just going to take it in a turret.
And they're getting a lot of free objectives at the moment as Flandre is just commanding attention.
Yeah, he's used his E though. TBQ going to get turned around on, but Imp uses the heal. Oh, Flandre's not done yet. But he can't go against 3 people. He probably could have potentially tried to escape. But instead,
do that?
Not worried about it. Yeah, no, it's just silly of me. Acorn might be in trouble now though. There's he on the hunt. Locked down and obliterated. The ultimate sending shadows through the night. Is Snake able to lock down that kill? But that's all of the minions dead. It's got to be heads back down, so not going to be able to take a turret for it. And both top laners super dead.
Shadows Through the Night sounds like a romantic novel name or something.
I know, I don't really know what I was going for there. But look, you just got to ignore half of what I say, Rusty.
But they do get a lot of damage onto the turret. They picked up the second inner turret, and you can tell what Flandre was doing was trying his best to just waste time and keep them busy, because he did drag 3 people to him.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal for them, because Crystal, about 2,000 gold ahead, roughly, probably a little bit more now in fact, is going to be so comfortable over Twitch with like 50 CS, 4 kills, and 2 completed items that are worth a lot more than what the Twitch has. Twitch is doing damage, but it's not comparable. And when you talk about sieging, that's Siva's forte. So if they continue to have 3 members address the issue that is Flandre in opposite lanes, they're going to be taking objectives like nothing.
Oh, they're just visible here, Snake, as Flandre and Beast trying to 2-man this Baron. They can both get over the wall, what with the Arctic Assault and, of course, the Playful Trickster, but LGD thinking they might just take up what was a half-done Baron. But Snake makes sense to go for it. Of course, both of them pretty safely able to get out.
Yeah, it is the next plan of attack. Of course, the Dragons not being available and control of the map feeling solely in favor of Snake.
Yeah, no, continue. Sorry, I got frightened by an item that Crystal just purchased outright.
Oh, wow. What was I saying? He
don't-
just bought a whole Bloodthirster.
Yeah, that happened, man.
That's scary. And they were in control before that.
Yeah.
They can pretty much just group and try and end now if they want. I mean,
may not necessarily be that far, but Acorn's gonna die. Yeah.
I'd say it's that far.
Your points have a habit of getting proven very, very quickly, Rusty.
That's good, really.
I like
stick
it.
with that, yeah. Seriously, though, a whole Bloodthirster, the difference between them is phenomenal, and you is just going to be able to do this.
Oh my goodness, the Command Protect was there to save him, but is it going to be enough? There's the double knock-up and into the triple stun as well, as PWL tries to use the Monsoon, but there's a 4-man, 5-man Shockwave! Has Godby still able to get stuff done? Flandre into the backline. It was a 4-man because the Fizz not quite there just yet. He's going to tank everything. Almost dies. Crystal just running under turrets. Of course, this server doesn't have many cares about many things as the cow's going to get destroyed. Godby locks down the kill. LGD still able to make it an even trade. Snake 5,000 gold ahead. Acorn has respawned. Snake trying to disengage, but Yu's going to burn down from the Cinderhulk. Potentially a red buff there as well that was picked up somewhere. No, it was just the Cinderhulk. Crystal trying to get the damage off. Godby takes a boomerang to the face. This Bloodthirster doing work, but the horse just rampaging around. They're going to transition into a Baron. Beast does get away. Thank goodness.
They saw him, but they couldn't actually stop it. And that fight on the back of a teleport there, the amazing shockwave from Godby
was
getting them
utterly
super
disgusting.
low, and then the explosive cast completely dispersing them afterwards, but unfortunately knocking the clone of LeBlanc into them, and they thought they had to kill their fight.
Oh,
my
he
God.
steals it! Beast with the godlike plays, heads over, happy to die, because he's put the Baron buff onto 2 of his team members and netted a whole bunch of gold. What the hell?
Just like that. What was an amazing fight, and what started
What is
to
happening
turn
today?
around.
It's just today. It's so ridiculous.
I don't really know what is happening, but they got the Baron. They're getting their 4th dragon, and they're winning.
Yeah, they're winning. They are most definitely
At this
winning,
stage,
Rusty.
I mean, we don't know what's going to happen past this
No,
point,
we
but
don't.
If we reflect back on what's immediately happening, not what's going to happen in the future, we would say that Snake are in a commanding position to do something good with this Baron buff.
This is a day where it's just really difficult to be an analyst.
Yeah.
Because things just aren't happening as they should be.
You say Snake should win the game because they buy a full Bloodthirster, and then Godby just becomes Godby and hits a massive shockwave and turns it around. They go for Baron,
And then lose it to Beast's incredible smiting capabilities.
and here we are.
And here we are, exactly.
I don't know where
dear.
here is, but we're here.
No, neither do I. So a couple of Baron buffs able to really cement a lead here. And one of the big points is the fact that Flandre has a Baron buff in his split push now. As Crystal's so far up. Got to be a little bit careful
You
there.
can kind of afford to just because of the spell shield being available. If it's more than TBQ in your face, if Godby can threaten you with his damage, then you really do need to respect it. But he's very comfortable. 5-1 and 2 with the makings of an Last Whisper after already having that Bloodthirster.
Yeah.
We've got the Void Staff completed for LeBlanc as well. We've seen how much damage that he does to even Acorn. Fizz able to split push very effectively, and Beast.
Oh, he might be in trouble here as there's the Shockwave onto Just Beast. They want the pick and they secure it. As Imp able to use the ultimate to lock down that kill. And LGD, they're going to stop the onslaught now as Beast tried to use the ultimate to save himself, but now that's a big cooldown down. And dead person, probably the biggest cooldown in the game, as Flandre now just looking to continue to push the bottom side of the map.
Flandre's just going to stay here. You can see LeBlanc, you even pressuring in the top lane, trying to find a situation where he can pick someone off. Because if they get a pick, and if it doesn't happen in the opposite direction like LGD just did, and find themselves a kill with the Shockwave and the amount of damage that Imp can put down, and especially because he can position himself invisible, they're very scary at actually getting skirmishes in their favor. But the 1-3-1, seemingly the decision here almost for Snake to find a pick before grouping.
And what I love about Snake's comp is the fact that they ward all around the transition points around the map. So if you ever want to be moving through the jungle between the lanes, Snake will know exactly what's going on, and they can account for, you know, a Twitch heading into stealth. They know when that's happening, and they can react accordingly.
Yeah, if you are able to spot a Twitch going into stealth, then your warding has been phenomenal, because it should never really be in that position.
Whoa, Crystal managed to steal a Raptor there as well.
He did. A big one.
Yeah, not too bad. Acorn is going to dodge away from a chain.
See how comfortable you is 1v1ing Acorn at the moment. It's disgusting to even consider that LeBlanc can walk up to a Hecarim and make the Hecarim run away with his tail between his legs, but that is happening because LeBlanc is massive.
Yep. Adorable. Oh, there's the Ghost Blade popped as well as Crystal is going to get his shield removed. And yeah, didn't use the ultimate, of course. Just going to get a cheeky auto attack and then run away.
Trying to make something happen is definitely what they need to do. It's not always going to work for them, but Twitch can go back invisible with a reasonably short cooldown. So they continue to do that, and if Flandre doesn't continue to get all of this...
Oh, Imp. He's in ambush. TBQ's looking for something, but not even going to land a barrel there. As now Flandre going to continue split pushing. Oh, Acorn might be caught out here. Crystal with 4 items doing a lot of damage. Acorn is stunned. The ult's down from Beast, but they don't lock down the horse for too long, and the Onslaught of Shadows all that they get out of it. So a trade of ultimates, and LGD lose a turret.
They do lose the turret, and they lose a bit more gold, which is going more in favor of Snake. Snake sitting comfortable at the moment.
Whoa.
They've got 4 dragons. As Imp...
Oh, Imp looking for the pick-off here. The shields are available, but Crystal, oh my goodness, still burning down from the poison. Is he going to be able to net it? He locks down the kill. And that is Crystal dead. LGD with a dangerous play, but it pays off.
Twitch getting past that stage where he's now exceptionally scary and able to 1v1 essentially anybody except the Fizz, is going to consistently continue to do this and find picks and then give LGD a good position from the picks to push aggressively. But now, 1 minute and 30 seconds until what could be the 5th dragon. You need to do more than just find a pick. You need to take that dragon away, slow down that win condition, and then start to control the map some more. They've got the damage. We've seen the damage in Act and being used to great effect, but they need to do it around this dragon, because if they give that up, it's looking dire.
It is. LGD need to stop this one. Of course, picking up the 6% stats is also massively relevant at 35 minutes into the game as well. They've got a bunch of items. And Godby, you know, 6% of 600? Still 60 AP.
Yeah, that's a lot.
No, it's not. That's 10%. But it's still, it's a decent.
Actually.
Yeah. So 6%, what is that?
I'll let you go. I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, don't even worry about it. It's about 40 odd?
36?
36?
Just go with that. We're not going to...
It's around there. So still, it's a relevant amount of AP,
extra.
guys. That's what we meant. We're not here to do math, okay? Let's get off our back. Wow. You guys are so mean. Stop saying that. Oh, you going aggressive. Acorn taking half of his health from a LeBlanc. Jeez, he needs that Spirit Visage as quickly as possible. Maybe a Banshee's Veil as well.
I like the adaptation in vision here, though. They've got Flandre split pushing, by the way, so they don't need to instantly engage on the dragon. They're content with having him 1v1 against Acorn, but the adaptation on vision that I'm talking about is the amount of pink wards that LGD have. And they can secure a spot to actually go in here with Imp, have his invisibility engaged, just because there's pinks everywhere, it enables them to do some more creative things with the Twitch. But speaking of dragons...
Yep, Arctic Assault is down. Flandre looking to get in here, but there's the teleport from Akon. He's going to have the home guards available. TBQ wants to steal it away, but 5th Dragon locked down for Snake. Akon into the back line, but you still able to get the work done. There's the kill onto Flandre, but they trade it immediately. There's a 3-man shockwave, but look at the damage over the wall. Imp getting kicked out. Not able to get all of the damage in there, and he does kill Beast. But that's 5 dragons available for the 2 carries and Ella. And they lose 3 members on the side of LGD. Now, can Snake either take the Baron or take down some meaningful objectives on this map?
They'll start with the middle turret. They'll probably work towards the Baron after pushing this wave in. They may even continue with this just because 3 members alive compared to the 2.
Look at
and
the auto
2 of
attack
them being carries. That is a lot of auto attack damage. That should even be the inhibitor unless Twitch gets back in time. No, that's going to be the inhibitor.
No, I love it because, of course, Imp, if he pops out of stealth, he's dead.
Yeah.
Instantly. You just kills him, just straight up. So Godvi, he doesn't have enough shields to deal with that.
Nobody has enough shields to deal with that. 5 dragons on a LeBlanc with 4 completed items and Sork shoes.
Yeah.
They can pretty much just do the dragon, the Baron if they want. LGD are aware of this fact. They want to be there, but the teleport's coming through. They're just going to... Are they starting it?
There is a pink ward there. They're just getting straight onto it. Of course, everyone else trying to get around here. They're taking it down very, very quickly. Blade of the Ruined King onto Imp. Very strong. Godby, though, he eats a fish. Flandre trying to get the work done. LGD, they're going to peel off the Baron, but look at the shockwave onto the 2 frontliners. Imp still alive in the backline, getting so much damage down. You takes down PYL. Ella trying to be a powerful unit in the mid of this fight, but Crystal and you still alive. That is so much damage about the chain, and then the distort back for the longest chain in history as Crystal wants to find a kill somewhere. Can someone die?
Imp wants this.
Yeah, Imp's looking for something. There's the Blade of the Ruined King active for Imp. But you coming around as well. The ambush now on cooldown as LGD looking to try and peel away. There's the distortion. Doesn't land the chain, but is able just to head back the original distortion spot. Oh my goodness, the boomerang almost landing. Both of these members of LGD super low. They're trying to get around. Oh, the ambush! Able to juke out of the way, but they want Godby here instead. Crystal just gets his abilities popped. And look, Godby is just going to back between the towers. There's the distortion. And see you later. You're just going to get out of there.
That moment when you know you were going to die. That was a very...
Imp didn't, though.
Imp got his ambush off and walked casually past. I wouldn't bother trying to find him anyway, but a very prolonged fight where the Baron was forced by LGD. The response came through, and Imp and Godby managed to live for way too long.
Oh, and it was still a fantastic shockwave to eliminate the front line of Snake, and then...
quickly that goes down.
Oh, so fast. Yep, that's a super dead Baron. Dragon buff is fantastic for taking down these neutral objectives, though.
Well, it does double your damage.
I've never seen someone with 5 dragons take down Dragon, admittedly, but able to do a whole lot of work to the Baron buff as Flandre just nipping around, picking up Gromps, and then destroying minion waves. A huge wave of creeps now with the Baron available, but they still need to respect Imp. They don't have a lot of pink wards. Of course, Ella has 1, but just going to Empowered Recall, back to base, pick up as many items as they can. That is double Banshee's Veil for both of the carries here. They don't want to get caught by any of these empowered ultimates, of course. Acorn not going to be too worried because, of course, you do double duty with that ultimate. So you take damage and then it's the Fear, I believe. So you're not going to get out of the CC with the Banshee's Veil, but still,
that's
powerful item choice.
3 upgraded yellow trinkets on the
Yeah,
side
I was going to talk about that, but look at how decorated this map is. Snake know everything that's going on.
That's crazy. And I guess my only question is, why not upgrade 1 to a pink trinket against the Twitch?
A pinket?
Yeah, pinket against the Twitch. Instead, they've gone for 3 of the yellow ones. Is
TBQ's dead? See ya.
See you later.
Yep, see you later. See you, bye. See ya.
He's going to go down to a lot of damage from an 11-2 now LeBlanc.
Yeah, and I know that we're not exactly really play-by-playing these kills, but I mean, Yu's just surgically removing people over and over again.
You get used to seeing it. It becomes a bit less exciting the 5th time that he 1v1 someone with his ridiculous damage. But they do have 1 member down. The bottom tower is low, and they don't need to be mid for the inhibitor, so they should be able to take this.
Oh, Akon looking for the engage. Imp's actually popped out. There's the ult, but Imp trying to kite around. There's the ultimate. 4 members with that Glacial Prison. The triple kill instantly for Crystal. And this is game over for LGD. Snake, they break the base and break the LGD lineup as well. Baron buff minions, all of the damage from you and Crystal. And the last 20 minutes of this game were played exquisitely from Snake. Wonderful performance, and I'm excited to see what